Hello, readers, and welcome back to Quarantine Literacy. We are in the midst of our character study where we are looking at all sorts of different characters from different books, and we're just talking about what makes them who they are. We're looking at character traits, as in how does this character behave and act? What do we notice about them? What do we notice about really who they are on the inside? What do we notice about who they are on the outside, right? What they look like, what they sound like, what they act like, how they interact with people around them. And we also talked about sort of thinking deeply about what happened to the character to bring them to this moment in time, right? Like, what's the backstory on the character before the book starts? It's always kind of fun to think about. Today we're going to read a Dr. Seuss book, and I bet a lot of you have read and love Dr. Seuss because he is a great author. We're reading Fox in Socks, and this is a very tricky tongue twister book, so I may have to pause a few times or restart some sentences because it's really, really tricky. But I really like this book because I think it has two super interesting characters. It's got this character Fox, who's kind of pushy and kind of a know-it-all, and he's just believes that he's really, really good at what he does, which is a lot of rhyming. And then it's got this character Mr. Knox, who's sort of the opposite of Fox. He's kind of shy and quiet and doesn't really believe in himself. And you're going to watch as the character Mr. Knox sort of grows and changes throughout this book. But we're going to also today talk about how characters solve problems, right? Characters almost always encounter a big problem in the story. And often they'll encounter some smaller problems along the way as well. So we're going to look at how the character addresses these problems and whether they are solved or unsolved in the book. You ready? Fox in Socks by Dr. Seuss. There's a little advisory here. It says, take it slowly. This book is dangerous. Fox, socks, box, Knox. Knox in box. Fox in socks. Knox on Fox in socks on box. Socks on Knox and Knox in box. Fox and socks on box on Knox. Chicks with bricks come, chicks with blocks come, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. Look, sir, Mr. Knox, sir. Let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. First, I'll make a quick trick brick stack. Then I'll make a quick trick block stack. You can make a quick trick chick stack. You can make a quick trick clock stack. And here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks on chicks and chicks on Fox. Fox on clocks, on bricks and blocks on Knox on box. Whew. So this Fox, you can hear him. This is his voice right now. And he is just like Mr. Rhyming Dude. And you can see poor Mr. Knox is doesn't look like he's super into this, does he? He's kind of what's going on here? This is a little out of my comfort zone. Now we come to ticks and tocks, sir. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, sir. Clocks on Fox tick, clocks on Knox tock. 6 bricks tick, 6 chicks tock. Woo, that one was hard.
Please, sir, I don't like this trick, sir. My tongue isn't quick or slick, sir. I get all those ticks and clocks, sir, mixed up with the chicks and talk, sir. I can't do it, Mr. Fox, sir.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Knox, sir. He is an easy game to play. He is an easy thing to say. New socks, two socks, who socks, Sue socks. Who sews who socks? Sue sews Sue socks. Who sees who sew whose new socks, sir? You see Sue sew Sue's new socks, sir.
That's not easy, Mr. Fox, sir.
Who comes? Crow comes. Slow Joe Crow comes. Who sews Crow's clothes? Sue sews Crow's clothes. Slow Joe Crow sews whose clothes? Sue's clothes. So Mr. Fox is like, come on, just say this stuff. You got this. And Mr. Knox is like, yeah, no, I don't got that. Mm-mm. Sue sews socks of fox and socks now. Slow Joe Crow sews Knox and box now. And he is not looking happy about that, is he? Sue sews rose on Slow Joe Crow's clothes. Fox sews hose on Slow Joe Crow's nose. Hose goes, rose grows, nose hose goes some, crow's rose grows some.
Mr. Fox, I hate this game, sir. This game makes my tongue quite lame, sir.
Mr. Knox, sir, what a shame, sir. We'll find something new to do. Now, here's lots of new blue goo now. New goo, blue goo, gooey, gooey, blue goo. New goo, gluey, gluey. Gooey goo for chewy, chewing. That's what Goo Goose is doing. Do you choose to chew goo too, sir? If, sir, you, sir, choose to chew, sir, with the Goo Goose chew, sir. Do, sir.
Mr. Fox, sir, I won't do it. I can't say it. I won't chew it.
Very well, sir. Step this way. We'll find another game to play. So Mr. Knox is just like, I can't do this. You keep asking me. You keep pressuring me. And I can't do it. I'm not capable. And Fox is like, all right, we'll do something different. But he keeps saying they're going to do something different. But are they actually doing something different? Kind of the same thing over and over again, huh? Bim comes. Ben comes. Bim brings Ben broom. Ben brings Bim broom. Ben bends Bim's broom. Bim bends Ben's broom. Bim's bends, Ben's bends. Ben's bent broom breaks. Bim's bent broom breaks. Ben's band, Bim's band, big bands, pig bands. Ben and Ben lead bands of brooms. Ben's band bangs and Bim's band booms.
Pig band, boom band, big band, broom band. Oh, my poor mouth can't say that. No, sir. My poor mouth is much too slow, sir.
Well then, bring your mouth this way. I'll find it something it can say. Luke, Luck, likes lakes. Luke's duck, likes lakes. Luke, Luck, licks lakes. Luke's duck, licks lakes. Duck takes licks and lakes Luke, Luck likes. Luke, Luck takes licks and lakes Duck likes.
I can't blab such blibber blabber. My tongue isn't made of rubber.
Mr. Knox, now, come on now. Come now, you don't have to be so dumb now. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, please. Through 3 cheese trees, 3 free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, freezy breeze blew. Freezy breeze made these 3 trees freeze. Freezy trees made these trees cheese freeze. That's what made these 3 free fleas sneeze.
Stop it. Stop it. That's enough, sir. I can't say such silly stuff, sir.
Very well then, Mr. Knox, sir. Let's have a little talk about Tweedlebeetles. What do you know about Tweedlebeetles? Well, when Tweedlebeetles fight, it's called a Tweedlebeetle battle. And when they battle in a puddle, it's a Tweedlebeetle puddle battle. And when Tweedlebeetles battle with paddles in a puddle, they call it a Tweedlebeetle puddle paddle battle. And when beetles battle beetles in a puddle paddle battle, and the beetle battle puddle is a puddle in a bottle, they call this a Tweedlebeetle bottle puddle paddle battle muddle. And when beetles fight these battles in a bottle with the paddles and the bottles on a poodle and the poodle's eating noodles, they call this a muddle puddle tweedle poodle beetle noodle bottle paddle battle. And
now wait a minute, Mr. Fox.
Fox.
When a fox is in the bottle where the Tweedlebeetles battle with the paddles in a puddle on a noodle-eating poodle, this is what they call a Tweedlebeetle noodle poodle bottle paddle muddle duddled fuddled waddled fox and fox, sir.
Mr. Knox is getting so fed up. He is like, enough with these crazy rhymes. I can't do it. These tongue twisters are terrible. I'm shoving you in a bottle. I'm frustrated as can be.
Fox and Fox, our game is done, sir. Thank you for a lot of fun, sir.
And look at Fox. He is like dumbfounded. He's like, what just happened? Mr. Knox is looking pretty proud of himself. Like, yep, I did that. And that is the end. Now, is your tongue numb? Yes, my tongue is numb, my goodness. Well, that was a super fun book, and my sheet fell. I made a little sheet that shows the problems that Mr. Knox faced in that book. So I just sort of wrote this out. The character is Mr. Knox, right? And his big problem is that Mr. Knox can't say the rhymes. And Fox is taunting and teasing him over and over again. That's like the big problem in this story, right? That the main character, Mr. Knox, faces. Some of the smaller problems are that Mr. Knox is super annoyed by Fox. Like, he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. It's super annoying. Mr. Knox seems to want to be left alone. And Mr. Knox doesn't want to say the rhymes. He's just like, no, this isn't for me. I don't want to do this. And then down here I have the problems that are solved are listed in this box, and the problems that are unsolved are listed in this box. So we have big problems and smaller problems, solved problems and unsolved problems. And I said that, I love the ending of this book because Mr. Knox is like, let me show you, okay? So Mr. Knox shows Fox that he can, in fact, do those tongue twisters, and that he can do it pretty well, huh? He also Mr. Knox bottles up Mr. Fox, which I think deals with this issue of being annoyed by Mr. Fox. He's like, shove into a bottle. And then Mr. Knox walks away because he wanted to be left alone. So he is able to sort of walk away, isn't he? Now, he didn't want to say the rhymes, and he actually ended up saying the rhymes. I don't know if that's solved or unsolved. Hard to say. I will say that Mr. Knox is definitely still annoyed by Mr. Fox, but he does manage to sort of walk away. I don't know that that really goes away, that feeling of being frustrated, but maybe that was solved by sort of telling him off and shoving him into a bottle. So if you want to, today, you can choose a different book and a different character and just write down some of the problems that your character faces, right? Do they have a big problem in the story? Do they have some smaller problems? And do the problems get solved? And then think about how that changes the character. So for example, in this book, Fox and Socks, I do feel like Mr. Knox really changes at the end. He goes from being kind of shy and quiet and not really sticking up to himself to being like, you know what? I'm not getting pushed around. I'm going to tell you what's what, and I'm going to walk away because I always have the power to just walk away from a situation I don't want to be in. So I do think that addressing and facing those problems helped Mr. Knox really grow as a character. So if you want to just do the same thing that I did with Mr. Fox or Fox and Socks, you can. And if you want to choose a different book, you can do that too. Okay, readers, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Until then, bye.